Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you again. I would like to just take two passages in the gospel. And it sounds as though, and people have made it to be confusing, but actually it's crystal clear. Jesus is talking about two separate events. Some people have tried to blend the two together and actually have tried to suggest that the prophecies in the book of Revelation and what Jesus is sharing in the Gospel of Matthew has already happened concerning the last days. So let's look at the first one in Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. And you're going to have your Bible with you in order for this to be able to be clear as I share on it. Matthew chapter 24, starting to read in verse 15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of a desolation, an abomination is the word used in the Bible for an idol. When you see an idol, what will this be an idol of? An idol of the beast, the Antichrist, at the very end. When you see the abomination which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, the temple, let the reader understand. So the Lord does want us to understand this. Those who are in Judea must flee to the mountains. Who is ever on the housetop must not go down to get things out of his house. Whoever is in the field must not turn back to get his cloak. But woe to those women who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. Moreover, pray that when you flee, it will not be in the winter or on a Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will be again. And if those days had not been cut short, no life would have been saved, but for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Jesus said, this is all based on a sign. When you see an idol that's set up in the temple. The Antichrist, I believe, is going to come and make a covenant with Israel for 3.5 years and actually be part of rebuilding the temple and establishing the orders of sacrifices in the Jewish religion. In the second 3.5 years of those times of trouble will be the time when he will break a covenant. And the Bible, the sign of that 3.5 years starting is the idol will be set up in the temple. So the Lord is letting us know here, he's saying to his own people, the Jewish people, when that happens, don't even turn around to get your coat. Flee. Pray that it's not a Sabbath. If you're in Israel right now, you realize transportation in Israel on a Sabbath is very difficult. So the Lord is saying that you get up and go and find a safe place. This is without a doubt a conversation about what happens in the 7 years of trouble for the nation of Israel. Now compare that to Luke chapter 21, verse 20. This is a different event. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then recognize that her desolation is near. Then those who are in Judea must flee to the mountains, and those who are inside the city must leave, and those who are in the country must not enter the city, because these are days of punishment, so that all things which have been written will be fulfilled. Woe to those women who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days, for there will be great distress upon the land and wrath to this people. And they will fall by the edge of the sword and will be led captive into all the nations, and Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. The first passage in Matthew says, when you see the idol in the temple. Now, Jesus is talking about something completely different. When you see armies surrounding Jerusalem, a completely different event. What Jesus was predicting was what was going to happen in 70 AD, shortly after his death, burial, and ascension. When you see the armies of the nations surrounding Jerusalem, that is a time to flee. And that Israel, the Jews, will be scattered, he said, around the world until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled. What is this time of the Gentiles? When the Gentiles are given the opportunity to hear the gospel and to hear that Jesus not just loves the Jews, but loves the entire world. So that Israel is going to realize that Jesus is in control. The city of Jerusalem is to know Jesus saw those days in 70 AD, where the attack is so brutal that we're told that they ate their own children because they were starving and that the blood was running in the gutters of Jerusalem. These are two different events. So some people want to say, look, Jesus came and the fulfillment of the last days were fulfilled when the Romans surround Jerusalem. No, that was one event. The other event is found in Matthew, where he teaches us very clearly that this is the time of the Antichrist. As sure as Jesus was right about the Romans destroying Jerusalem in 70 AD, so is Jesus exactly right in predicting these last days that the Antichrist will come up against the nation of Israel. Let's keep up that understanding, because we know that Jesus has always been in control and will be in control.